Hi, and welcome back to our course on PRINCE2 Foundation. We've been talking about the different themes in PRINCE2, and in this module, we'll discuss the PRINCE2 theme of progress. The purpose of the progress theme is to establish mechanisms to monitor and compare actual achievements against those planned, to provide a forecast for the project objectives and the project's continued viability, and to control unacceptable deviations. You might recall that managed by stages and continued business justification are two principles of PRINCE2 that are related to the progress theme. To fulfill these principles, the progress theme provides mechanisms for monitoring and control as the project moves forward. Another PRINCE2 principle that supports progress theme is managed by exception. Here, the progress theme enables one to set tolerances for project objectives, which provide the basis for identifying exceptions. So what are exceptions and tolerances? An exception is a deviation beyond the agreed tolerance levels. Now, tolerances are the permissible deviations above or below a plan's target for time and cost without escalating the deviation to the next level of management. If tolerances are not defined, there's no clear measure of discretion if things do not go as planned. If every minor deviation is escalated to the project board, the project manager is merely monitoring the work and making no effort to implement corrective action. From the project board member's point of view, this situation would not be satisfactory. In effect, the project board has to do the project manager's job. With tolerances defined and in place, the project manager has room to practice discretion and make decisions if necessary for the project to move ahead without constant escalation to the project board. The PRINCE2 reporting structure is important to understand because it delineates the PRINCE2 approach to progress. Progress control involves measuring actual progress against the performance targets of time, cost, quality, scope, benefits, and risk. Those with the appropriate delegated authority then use this information to make decisions and to take actions as required. PRINCE2 provides progress control through delegating authority, dividing the project into management stages and authorizing the project at each stage, reporting and reviewing using both time-driven and event-driven triggers, and raising exceptions. As you can see here, there are 4 levels of management in PRINCE2. The first level of management is corporate or program management. They're responsible for setting overall tolerance levels for the project. The second level is the project board, which has the overall control at the project level, provides overall direction to the project, and allocates tolerances for each management stage to the project manager. It's valuable to know that there are various controls available to the project board. Let's see what they are. The first control is authorizations. The project board uses directing a project process to authorize initiation, authorize the project, authorize each stage, and authorize project closure. After the pre-project process, starting up a project, the project board authorizes progress to the initiation stage. After the initiating a project process, they review and approve the information from the project initiation documentation and authorize the project itself. After the managing a stage boundary process, the project board reviews the stage plan or exception plan. If satisfied, it can approve the plan with its relevant tolerances for the next management stage. After the closing a project process, the project board reviews the end project report and if satisfied the project is complete or has nothing more to offer, can authorize its closure. The project board also controls the project using progress updates, which includes highlight reports and end stage reports. The last control that the project board has is exceptions and changes. These include the exception reports and issue reports that they receive from the project manager as and when they occur. Okay, coming back to the levels of management, the third level of management in PRINCE2 is the project manager, who has day-to-day control for a management stage. Just like the project board, there are some main controls available to the project manager. The first type of control is authorization. During the controlling a stage process, the project manager will be responsible for agreeing and authorizing work packages and work package tolerances. The second type of control is progress updates. These include checkpoint reports produced by team managers or team members. The third type of control is exceptions and changes. which includes the use of project registers and logs to review progress and identify issues and risks that may need to be resolved. The fourth and last level of management is the team manager. The team manager has control for a work package, but only within the work package tolerances agreed with the project manager. Now that we've reviewed PRINCE2 reporting structures, you've undoubtedly noticed the references to management stages. Let's spend some time understanding management stages and their use in controlling the progress of a project. A management stage is a collection of activities and products whose delivery is managed as a unit. Management stages are useful in providing review and decision points and giving the ability to ensure that key decisions are made prior to the work. Keep in mind that there are partitions of the project with decision points. No two management stages can run in parallel. There are different stages of the project running in a logical sequence, starting with defining the project, followed by planning, execution, and finally, evaluation and closure. A project can have multiple stages of execution depending upon how the project is partitioned based on what major decisions need to be made. The project board authorizes one management stage of the project at a time. It's imperative that at the end of each stage, the end stage report and stage plan are created to request authorization to commence the next management stage. The end stage report, together with the stage plan for the next stage, should contain all the information necessary to enable the project board to conduct an end stage assessment and make a decision to proceed. Some interesting questions arise here. For example, what number of management stages should a project have? What should the length of a management stage be? Now, the use of management stages in PRINCE2 project is mandatory, but the number of stages are flexible because the number depends on the scale and risk of the project. However, every PRINCE2 project should include at least two management stages, initiation stage and the project execution and closure stage. Defining management stages is fundamentally a process of balancing the planning horizon, the key decision points on the project, the risk involved in the project, the level of control required by the project, and the confidence of the project board and the project manager in proceeding with the project. Stages should be shorter where there is greater risk, uncertainty, or complexity. They can be longer when risk is lower, typically in the middle of the project. Now we will concentrate on the various factors that influence the decision on how long a management stage should be. The first factor is the planning horizon at any point in time. The second factor is the technical stages within the project. The end of management stages does not necessarily need to occur at the same time as the end of technical stages. However, there are often benefits if they do. The third factor is the alignment with program activities. It may be a requirement to align the end of a management stage with the end review within the program. The fourth factor is the level of risk. Management stages can be very useful as a means of bringing project board control to risky projects. Here, it's imperative to mention the technical stages as well. Let's explore the technical stages and the difference between technical and management stages. As you can see here, we have a project structured with technical stages. Next, let's overlay appropriate management stages, and we can see that the technical stages are spanning management stage boundaries. Now, by dividing the technical stages into specialist work, we can align them to management stages. You'll notice that the technical stages are broken down into their work components and completed as part of different management stages. Technical stages are a method of grouping work by the set of techniques used or the products created. Unlike management stages, technical stages often overlap each other. They're typified by the use of a particular set of specialist skills, and the management stages equate to commitment of resources and authority to spend. A technical stage spans a management stage boundary. The extent to which the product of a technical stage should be complete by a stage boundary should be clear in the concerned product description. The PRINCE2 approach is to concentrate the management of the project on management stages because they form the basis of the planning and control processes described throughout the method. Now, let's learn about time-driven and event-driven progress reporting and reviews. But first, let's discuss the two related types of controls. We'll begin with event-driven controls. What are they? Event-driven controls take place when specific events occur. Examples include the end of stage, the completion of the project initiation documentation, and the creation of an exception report. The second type is time-driven controls. These take place at predefined periodic intervals, for example, monthly highlight reports or weekly checkpoint reports. Note that monitoring and reporting requires a time-based approach, whereas control is an event-based activity. The project manager will regularly review the progress of work through checkpoint reports and maintain a set of project registers and logs to update the stage plan with actual progress achieved, and the frequency of reporting should reflect the level of control required. The management products that assist the project manager in establishing baselines for progress control are the project plan, stage plan, exception plan, and work package. Now, a project plan includes project-level performance targets and tolerances. Any threats to project tolerances need to be escalated to the project board, which will determine corrective action in consultation with corporate or program management. A work package authorized by the project manager provides a trigger for the team manager to begin executing the actual work. Tolerances and details of the work are agreed to between the team manager and the project manager and recorded in the work package. These agreements become the baselines against which progress will be monitored and controlled. The team manager needs to ensure that he or she finishes the work package within its tolerances. Certain management products assist the project manager in reviewing project progress. They include the daily log, issue register, product status account, quality register, and risk register. During the various management stages, especially when reviewing progress, the project manager will want to capture, incorporate, and report lessons. All lessons are recorded in lessons logs, which are created at the starting up a project process. Lessons that are significant and have relevance for other projects are reported using the lessons report. At a minimum, a lessons report should be created in the closing a project process. PRINCE2 uses different reports to describe the progress of the project, stage, and work package. These include the checkpoint report, which is created by the team manager to report progress of a work package. The frequency of the checkpoint report should be documented in the work package. The highlight report, which is created by the project manager to report progress of the stage, frequency of which should be documented in the communication management strategy. The end stage report, which is produced by the project manager towards the end of each management stage, providing the project board with information on progress of the stage and overall project situation. And the end project report is produced by the project manager for the project board to review the project and authorize its closure. A lessons report is included as part of the end project report. Let's have a look at an area called raising exceptions. The output from reviewing progress is a decision about whether the work package, stage plan, or project plan remain or are forecasted to remain within agreed tolerances. There are 3 exception levels. The first is work package level exceptions. A work package exception is a breach or forecasted breach of a tolerance agreed between the team manager and the project manager. If a work package is forecasted to exceed its tolerances, the team manager should inform the project manager by raising an issue. Next, we've got stage level exceptions. If the stage is forecasted to exceed its tolerances, the project manager should produce an issue report to capture and analyze the details of the deviation and then provide an exception report for the project board. Lastly, we've got project level exceptions. If the forecast is for the project tolerances to be exceeded, the project board no longer has the authority to manage the project and must refer the matter to corporate or program management for a decision. And with this, we complete Module 10 on the theme of progress. Thank you for learning with us.